Hello, everyone. How are you this evening? I am so glad. Hold on. I got something in my ear. Sorry. Okay, this is not working. Uh, Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you tuned in today. I am here today on My Two Cents. I am here to talk about acid reflux, colon cancer, and caregiving. And this is from my last episode of Autumn is Here. As you know, my podcast, Autumn is Here, my last episode. Um, we usually, on Thursdays, we usually go live and we talk about the last episode that we had. And we just get into it a little bit more to expand it. You know, Autumn is Here is a podcast that gives you information, a place where caregivers can tell their story, and it gives you information about healthcare and different things like that. And today we're going to talk about acid reflux and colon cancer and caregiving. The doctor we had on was Dr. Eric Morgenstern, and he is an expert in that field, and also he was a caregiver. So we definitely wanted to talk to him. And it's very interesting that that's something that when we were talking, I realized it's something that people kind of take for granted, that we burp and we pass gas and we do different things like that. And we don't think anything is of it. We have constipation and stuff like that. So he brings a lot to the table, a lot of attention there. So very grateful that he was able to talk to us. I hope someone has saw the show. If you haven't, it's okay to come on and talk about it and um, get some insight and then go back to see the show later. I'm not here by myself. I'm here with Miss Evelyn. Evelyn Flows from No Ceiling Network. She's here somewhere around. And we're going to, hi, how are you? I can't hear you, but how are you? You look good.
Hi.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing this evening? Thanks for joining us. Did you say hi to Franklin?
I did not say hi to Franklin. Hi, Franklin. How are you? How are you? You're not incognito today. I had a faux pas when I started. I had my earpiece in hearing that, and it got stuck in my hair. So
Oh my
that's
goodness.
okay. Things happen. Things happen. So
Hey, Lizette.
hello, everyone. Hello, Lizette. How are you? Lizette from Delaware, which is really cool. Really cool. Um, well, this subject is very interesting to me and near and dear to my heart because I didn't know about getting checked for colon cancer and things like that. And one of these things, these are for general. This show is for general people, for everybody, but also if you're a caregiver, to make sure that your parents and stuff have taken these tests. And I didn't know about colonoscopy, and then my mom had to take one, and she was 79 when they asked her to take one, and she had cancer. When they found it, she had a small grapefruit size lump in her. So therefore, if I would have not known, and if he didn't take the test, or this doctor, or the only reason why they took the test because she was going into a nursing home, and when you go in a nursing home, you have to take a series of tests. But other than that, I wouldn't have known, and this thing would have been growing in her body all this time. So I was very interested in talking to Dr. Morgenstern about um, colon cancer, and just to get the news out there. One of the reasons why I talk about different things of health. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary Tinsley. One of the things I talk about different things of health is because, like I said, not only for seniors or for caregivers, but for you too. And just to make you aware of it, because as we grow older, we may not know that we're supposed to take a certain test at a certain time. And maybe our doctor won't say anything. Like my doctor, my mom's doctor never said anything, never asked her. She was 79. She should have been taking the test. So,
Mm.
and one of the important things that he says at this point in time, with the medical information that we have, you should not die from colon cancer. No one should die from
Mm.
colon cancer. We have enough medical research, and if you get tested regularly, and they're going to find polyps. They may find polyps, but that's okay because they can take it out if you test regularly. So,
Yeah.
so that's why this is a really important subject to talk about, and I don't want people to miss it. I don't. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Glad you're here today.
Hey, everybody that's hopping on. Well,
Hi.
let me go ahead and just let everybody know. Go ahead and hit the like button, share this on someone else on your page, share it with a friend, all of the above. We want as many people as possible to hear this broadcast. As Francine said, when you were just talking, because I'm this is my 2 cents, right? I have to be honest. When I first saw the title of the episode, I was like, okay, interesting.
Why was I talking about it? Is that what?
I didn't think why, because I get it. It's kind of like when they were sharing their colonoscopies on the Today Show. Way back when it wasn't
Felt
me.
okay.
Oprah shared hers and all that. So
Yeah.
I get it. But you sharing that personal story that you just shared really helped me to see how important it is and why you specifically wanted to share this. So
Oh,
yeah,
definitely, definitely.
yeah.
Because people are growing older and having these things and walking around with cancer in their body that they don't have to. When
Mhm.
my mom had the operation, they took it out and she never had to take any medication or anything like that. So,
Wow.
it's good to know earlier so you can take them out, especially if they're small polyps.
Yeah.
But and it's a lot of things with it. I just think that, like, even not only just hearing him talk about it, but also, when I think about it, these are really things that we really don't pay a lot of attention to. I don't think, so he was talking about, like, first, colon cancer. It's one of the third largest cancers for dying, that you can die from. So it's pretty big. So it's good that people know more about it and get tested. This is for you to get tested, and it's not going to be anything uh like they put you to sleep, so it's not painful or anything like that. So
Mhm.
don't be afraid to get tested for that. It can save your life. And another thing that he was talking about was constipation.
Mhm.
Like, we take that for granted, and like every now and then you get constipated. Are your bodies showing you signs? Are they telling you something? What is going on? He says that's not a normal course of aging,
Yeah.
but the reasons why, because when you're aging, sometimes that happens more, is because of different things, like you don't drink as much water,
Mhm.
and stuff like that, or you're not eating right, your dietary fibers, you're not getting enough fibers. And so it's all of these different things that your body, you slow down when you
Yeah.
grow older. You know what I mean? And if we think that constipation is normal and we just take something for it, we may miss the signs that
Yeah.
it means something else. So
Literally just talking to a friend about this because many who follow me, I'm on a health journey, and yeah, when you are drinking more water and you're eating healthy, you're gonna go regular.
right, right, and
And
fibers
so,
and fibers, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So you're
right.
going
And
you're
so we
going
were
in and
talking
out.
about that, and
You're going in and out. Yeah. Sorry. But she'll be back. But yeah, it's okay if you didn't see the episode. That's one of the things. It's okay. You can go back and see it. But it's really important. I really seriously want people to see this episode because it's for everybody. We we burp and we think nothing of it. I went to the doctor because I was belching, and he found something, because I normally don't belch. I don't belch. And he was like, "Well, how do you know that?" I said, "Because my children belch and they like it." So I don't, that's how I'm just conscious of it. And when I went, and that's when they found out that I had something, and they took care of it. So, it was H. pylori, which is what I had, which leads to an ulcer. So they took care of it and it's fine. But that's what I'm saying. If it was just the reason, because I was belching, that's why I went. I want us to pay attention to these things, and not only with the colon cancer, the colonoscopy, and different risk for that. Just think about it. Certain dietary things, smoking, smoking is a cause of a lot of things, or it hurts your body in some way. So as we go older, if we've been smoking for 20, 30 years, then things may happen. Type 2 diabetes could be a factor in that, and low fiber and high fat diet. So if you have a low fiber diet and high fat diet, that can contribute to it. So please get your regular checkups and ask your doctor. If your doctor doesn't ask you, ask your doctor. But also another thing we talked about was acid reflux, and that's another thing that I know a lot of my friends and people I know have that, or they, and they take, over the counter medicine, Tums and Milax and things like that, and it's okay if it's for like temporary, but you need to just go get it checked out to see if it's anything more. I mean, if it doesn't happen that often, that's fine. But if it's something that you're taking all the time, every time you eat, you know, um, you should get it checked out. Heartburn, people are saying they have heartburn, and it's like, okay, well, I'll just take something. That's a sign. So it's better to check it out than to have something happen, later on, and you have to deal with it. There are different. It can evolve into something else, and it can evolve into cancer of the esophagus. So please don't take it lightly. If you're bringing up food when you belch and stuff like that, you're having a hard time. He was given different signs and different things not to eat. Uh, if you're having discomfort, maybe it's the food that you're eating, like red sauces and things like that, lemon, citrus, mince, chocolate, which that's hard to give up, but chocolate, carbonated beverages, alcohol, and of course, tobacco and caffeine. Those are things that if you are having trouble with it, try to not do some of those things, and maybe it'll ease off, or maybe you'll know the difference. If you know the difference, and it gets better, then you know that those were the causes. If not, get it checked out. Also, when you're caring for someone, sometimes we care for people and we don't even realize that they are what they're going through. I want you to keep your eye on the person that you care for, your parent, or your even if you're a professional caregiver, keep an eye on them. Are they exhibiting some of these signs? Are they belching? Are they a lot? Are they having trouble with the food going down? He also said, well, heartburn is people keep going like this. When they go like this, that means that they have heartburn. That's the sign for heartburn. They may not know it, but that's what's happening in there. So if you see your loved one, doing like this, you'll know that there's something happening there, and take them to get checked out for it. Again, a doctor may not ask. So just make sure that when you're looking after someone, you look at some of these signs. If they're going to the bathroom and it's hard for them to go to the bathroom, and all the time they always constipated, then there may be a issue. It may be fixed with just diet, but it may not. And make sure they have regular tests. So that's one of the reasons why I want to talk about the subject, because we just keep going and take for granted these things, and in our lifestyle, and who we're caring for, and anybody who's a senior. Hi, Michelle. How's Shell? How are you? Thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know, um, Oh, Lizette is saying they put so many additives in the food that we eat here in US. Yes, it's a wonder we don't all develop issues with our digestive system. That is so true. That is so true. And it's a shame that we have to watch out for so many different things that is supposed to be okay or approved to be in our foods. And that's probably why we do get sick. And that's probably why we have diseases that other countries may not have. Some countries regulate certain things that we allow, and that makes us ill. And then of course we deal with it with medicine, and sometimes that doesn't make everything better. They might make that better, but it may affect you in another way. So we end up, that's why you get older, you end up taking all these different pills, even with the diets, even if you're having fruit and vegetables, that's like, try to get it organic, because we have so much pesticides and things like that. And those things hurt our digestive system, so there are things that, we should really look out for, and make sure that we are not only eating right, exercising, um, watching what we eat, um, smoking, things like that, alcohol. We just have to keep in mind these things. And as you get older, sometimes you might have to let go of some of these things. You had a good run with them. And sometimes you might just have to let it go. It might make you feel better. It's very uncomfortable to have something wrong with your digestive system, especially with heartburn. It's very uncomfortable, and it burns, and that can turn into esophagus cancer and stuff like that. So um, it's better for you to make sure that you have that. He also said, like, um, have it checked out, but also make sure you do certain things that will maybe ease it off, like not go to bed for 3 hours after you've eaten. So if you eat, try to stay up or upright for 3 hours. This way, it keeps the gravity in place, and it'll keep your food going down, and you won't have that resistance if you're reclining or if you're lying down. Sometimes people get that where it comes back up, and it's because you lay down too early before you digested all your food. So those are the things to kind of be careful of. Also, just doing that, but definitely making sure you get enough fibers and less fat in your diet, and drinking more and stuff like that, and move more. Constipation comes from drinking stuff, not drinking enough water and fibers, but also not moving. We get older, we move less. We're caring for somebody, they're usually, a lot of times, they're not moving around. And these are things to think about. One of the things, and you don't want them have discomfort anyway if you're caring for somebody older, but these are the things to think about, because how you combat this sometimes is not only medicine. You can make sure they go to a daycare center, adult daycare center, where they're moving, where they're active. Keep them active. That helps them, and that helps their system. So that's a good thing. If you do whatever it is, just keep them moving so their body can move, so they're not sedimentary, sitting in one place all the time. That can help them to have their food digest a little better and come out a little better. So things like that is very, very helpful. One of the things hi Raven, thanks for coming on. One of the things he also was he was in talking about him being a caregiver. So he's a caregiver. He's also a doctor of the digestive system. If I say it wrong, gastroenterologist, and he's also a caregiver, which is wonderful that he understands how it is when you're trying to take care of your parents. And he's a doctor, and he said to doctors, don't take care of your own parent, because it's really difficult. But trying to take care of your parent and being a caregiver, he can relate to that. He's very sympathetic about that, and he also suggested that we have geriatric doctors. When we get older, it's a good thing to have a geriatric social worker or a geriatric doctor that will help you with your parents and stuff like that. So that's a really good tip, because they're more in tune with the elderly illnesses and body and stuff like that. So that would be good. Lizette, hi. You said this is the additives one. Okay. But yeah, they if you have a geriatric doctor, they can pinpoint things probably a little quicker. They know what's going on. They know what to give you, because they're dealing with older people. This is what they do, and they understand what's happening in their body. So I know that our parents don't like to change out their doctor. I understand that, and I know it's always good to get a second opinion, and it's always good to check out a geriatric doctor just in case. I know it's hard, but look into that, because sometimes a regular primary doctor that you had all this time is so used to you, they're not giving you all the information because they're so used to you. They're trying, they're just becomes a routine. And if you have a new, fresh set of eyes, it's always good. And if you have a geriatric doctor, the primary doctor is for general and for everything, but the geriatric doctor is going to focus on elderly care and aging people and aging body. And that's good to do, to be able to pinpoint things quicker. And when you're older, you want to be pinpointed quicker. You want to be able to understand what's going on quicker, so you can get a better treatment, a quicker treatment, and they can recognize what's going on and they can do something about it. So that's one of the things. So hi, welcome back. Can I hear you? Oh, I hope I can hear you. Okay.
Listen
I can
here,
hear you.
yes, you can
Yeah.
hear me. I had some
So,
technical difficulties, sorry, but I was listening to everything that you were saying.
okay.
Yeah, you carried that thing, okay?
Well, this is something that I really like. It's like eye opening. And then one of the things he did say, and that was interesting, and that hit me, is that he said one of the signs is coughing. One is
Mm,
a chronic cough, chronic cough, and it
really?
hit me because my mom had a chronic cough, and Raven's on here, and she would know that for years and
Oh,
couldn't stand it. And they was like, "Oh, it's allergy. They did this. Oh, it's this. They did something else." Never. I mean, for years, all the time, she had this cough, and they couldn't figure out what it was. And sometimes she would
mm,
choke. And when he said that,
wow.
and I got it, I said, "That's probably what she had." But again, undiagnosed. You
Mm-hmm,
know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
if she would have went to a geriatric doctor, they might have picked up on it quicker. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's what Mary was saying. She took
what
her
she said?
mom to a geriatric doctor, and she was very in tune with her mother's health.
Okay, okay, yeah. See,
Mm-hmm.
it's better, but we don't know that. We don't know that. We don't think about that. We don't know that, and this is why we talk about this thing so we know when it happens. We'll go, okay, this is something somewhere else we can get some support or some information from, you know, or these are things that we can use or some tools that we can use or things that we can watch out for. So, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, if I would have known, if somebody would have been talking about this before, I would have known that maybe this cough has something to do with GERD or something, or her digestive system. But I didn't, and she
Wow.
went to the doctor all the time for it, and she coughed for years. Cough. She had
Mm.
this dry cough. She would always say, "Oh, I got this tickle in my throat, a tickle in my throat," But cough drops didn't work. Nothing worked. So it's undiagnosed, and that's another thing. Watch out for things like that. Watch out for chronic coughing. People are coughing, and we think,
Yeah.
oh, it's just something in the air. It's not. you know
No. No.
so, and it's very
Yeah.
frustrating and aggravating, and so it I realized that she suffered with that, and she may not had to if we could have
Yeah.
diagnosed it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why these conversations are so important. And again, I want to stress to the audience, like, hey, I know a lot of people who watch, My Two Cents are possibly friends or acquaintances of some sort, or just, a part of your community. But this is coming from somebody, from the outside. Guys, you're connected to Francine, please share what she's doing because this in this very moment it really hit me that there's some stuff that we just don't know, and we don't have to suffer from it just because we lack the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And Francine, and I know you don't always like to toot your own horn, but you're sharing this knowledge, that we need as a community. And I just really, really, if you, can resonate with what I'm saying, let me know in the comments, like, hey, I'm gonna share, I'm gonna let somebody know about it because it's important.
Yeah.
It's important. It really is. Really,
Yeah,
really
it
is.
is. Especially, you don't want your parents to suffer,
Yeah.
and then you don't want your hands tied. Like you want to be able to help them, and you don't have a clue what to do. The doctor said, "Oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's allergies. Oh, it's this." You know, get a second opinion. Go to a
Yeah.
geriatric doctor. They can
Yeah.
pinpoint stuff quicker. And he said a geriatric social worker, which I did not know. I never heard of that, but that's great. If they probably know much more things about the care of aging people and stuff like that. So that's great. So that's something I've never heard of. So it's something else that we should think about and keep on the list in case we get old. And if you are of age, tell your children, share
Mhm.
it with
Mhm.
them, let them know. So if something
Yeah.
does happen to you, they know what questions to ask, they know what to look for. They know different things that may happen. They know what testing you're supposed to take. They know how to advocate for you, which is very, very important. you
Mhm.
know um, so it's tell your children, if you're not a caregiver, and that's good that you're not a caregiver, but you're going to get old. Tell your children, let them know, about this, let them know about possibly these things that may happen,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and go to the doctor regularly. Sometimes when we get older, and sometimes men, they
Mhm.
don't want to
Mhm.
go. They don't want to go.
Yes.
you
It's so
know
true.
you have husbands, make your husband go. Make your husband go. I know
Your
he may
brother,
still be
your
fit. Yeah.
hmm
They may still be fit and whatever, and they might be 55, 60, and they still okay, but still make them go to the doctor
yeah,
regularly.
absolutely.
It makes a difference for a longer life, a healthier life, you know. And if they have any of these symptoms, if they have any of these things that we just talked about here with acid reflux and heartburn and belching and gas and whatever we do, check it out. Let talk to them, like she said, your brother, whoever. Talk to them, because men don't like to go to the doctor that often.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
true. It's
yeah,
true.
so encourage our brothers to go so they can have a long healthy life. And so
I have a question. I don't know if you mentioned this already, but these symptoms and things that people have later on in life, does it start earlier? Like is it
oh, yeah.
possible that it starts way earlier and then they're just now
Well,
seeing?
once it starts, I mean, if you don't do anything about it, but you can see it. No, it's not that it has to start when you get old. Okay, these are
Hmm.
things that can happen now. So this is for
Right.
us also. You know,
Yeah.
it can
Yeah.
happen now. When it happens, the point is when it happens, when you notice it, don't just um, take it for granted. If it's
Hmm.
something that's once in a while, certain you ate something or whatever, it made you get heartburn, whatever, you take a Tums a couple of times, whatever, that's okay. If it's something that persists,
Hmm.
then taking the over-counter medicine is not going to be enough. I know
Yeah.
people. I have a friend who takes my Lancet every day. That's not
Mm.
good.
Yeah. No.
That's not good. You know,
Hmm.
so it's like that's what I want people to know, that we think that these things, because it eases it off and it makes you feel better, but it's not taking care of the problem.
The root of the
And
problem. Yeah.
yeah, and we have to know. And I know people who take Tums all the time, all day long. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's something wrong if you have to do that all the time, all day long.
I
Get
know
it
y'all
checked out.
mentioned the food, but listen, that's one thing too. And I know you recently did a fast or what,
Mhm.
and I just feel like the food too. The
Yeah,
food,
oh,
like,
absolutely, the food, but you have to
yeah.
be careful. You have to be careful. What Stacy said, I had chronic heartburn since I was a teenager. See, so it happens. It can happen
Hmm.
young. It can happen young, but you have to go get it checked out. You have to go to the doctor. Over counter stuff is not going to be enough. It might be signaling something else. Okay, that's the thing. It might be signaling something else. Um,
Hmm.
what does Deborah say? I can't see.
Oh, I'm sorry, Deborah said, yes, this is very important. If we live long enough, at some point you're going to have to give attention to an elderly parent or relative.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's good to have the information. It's good to have the information. And you know, this is for everybody. Is not just for the elderly. It's for everybody, because these things happen and we just ignore it. I'm telling you, we're belching and passing gas and thinking nothing of it. It's normal. It's fine. It's fine, but it's normal because that's the way it happens. But there's a reason why this has happened. And
Hmm.
please,
Hmm.
constipation. You know, it
Yeah.
was. You know, I remember growing up, that wasn't a big deal. You just get some castor oil and that's it, and that was it. So it
Hmm.
was it. I was trained that that was just normal. If it
Hmm.
happens, it's just normal. Get some castor oil, take care of it. But
Yeah.
he's saying that no, if you haven't, you're constipated all the time, there is something
That's an
happening.
issue.
You
That's what
should
I
get
was
it
trying
checked
to
out.
say earlier. A friend of
Yeah.
mine is on a health journey
Uh,
and she was noticing that she was going more often. And I was like, that's normal. You're supposed to.
yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
supposed to be constipated, but that's, yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
So
whole
yeah.
thing.
So, but yeah. So thank you, everybody. If you haven't seen the show, please look at the show on Autumn is Here. You can go back and look at it on YouTube, or listen to it on wherever you listen to podcasts. But please go back and listen to it. Like, subscribe, please share. But share this information to anyone. You know, like I said, to men, share this information, because maybe they won't listen to you, but maybe they'll listen to the doctor if the doctor says it. You know, I don't know. But and
Yeah.
look after your people that you love and caring for, and your parents. Even if you're not caregiving for your parents yet, still go to them and make sure that they had their colonoscopy. Go to them, make sure that, okay, did you notice that they have gas a lot, or they're belching a lot, or they're, you know what I'm saying? Go with intent to look at them and make sure that they're okay and that they're not going through these things, because you don't want them suffering. Sometimes they just deal with it. You just deal with it, and you don't want them suffering. It's very uncomfortable to have heartburn and constipation and stuff like that. So please, if you have parents, and even if you're not a caregiver, go to them. And if you notice that they're going through some of these things, take them to the doctor. Talk to them about it. Take them to the doctor. If you know that they're popping Tums and all these other things all the time, it's time for them. That's a sign. It's time for them
Yeah.
to go to the doctor.
The big
If
thing you mentioned
yeah,
too is the cancer part. That, like, yeah,
yeah,
the
it can
fact that it
turn
could
into
possibly,
cancer.
yeah,
Oh,
that's huge.
absolutely. It can turn. You can get colon cancer. You can get cancer of the esophagus. I did not know that was. That's what Tracy Braxton. They said. Someone said that's what Tracy Braxton died of. I didn't know that.
Mm,
Um, so, it can happen to anybody. And she died. She was young. So,
mhm.
please get yourself checked out, and please check out the show, and make sure you subscribe. Thank
Yes,
you
and
all for
share it
being
with
here.
somebody else.
Yeah. So thank you all for being here on My Two Cents. I appreciate it. It's just a little more to get into the subject. Make sure you don't miss points. I want people to make sure they don't miss these points that are important for them. You know what I mean? So please tune into Autumn is Here and get some information and share it and give it to someone else. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you, Evelyn, for being here from No Ceiling Network. We'll be
Thank
seeing
you.
some great things from you soon. So,
Yes.
so follow her also on her social media channels. So follow her also.
Love it.
All right. Thank you all. Talk to you
Good
later. Good
night.
night, everyone. Bye bye.